There's been one contribution of $1,000, and everything else is $500 or below. In fact, 99.9% of it, I would say, is $100 or below.
I understand you have a terminal brain tumor. Can you tell us what kind, in what lobe, and how that might affect your mental health?
I will release my medical records when someone asks for a signed release. My tumor has been diagnosed, it has been confirmed, it has been verified by the Chicago Tribune, and I will not discuss my medical history at this point other than saying that there will be a list of my doctors up on larrysinclair.org later this afternoon, and anyone interested in contacting those doctors for medical records can do so at your own expense. And I will release them.
I have a question. Are you alleging that Senator Barack Obama has something to do with the murder or death of the gentleman you were talking about from his church?
Mr. Young?
Yes.
It's my belief that that's exactly what has transpired, and that's why I have contacted the Chicago Police Department. It's also why I provided Detective Robert McVickers with the information that he specifically requested. And yes, that's exactly what I'm alleging. I am definitely alleging that it is my belief, okay, that Barack Obama and Jeremiah Wright either knew who or had the person that killed Donald Young killed. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Sir, I'm wondering if you could remind me which records you would like to have released by the Obama campaign. It sounded like the list was rather extensive and it spanned a number of years.
Well, no, actually, the only thing we asked him to do was to authorize the release of his cell phone records from November 3rd to November 8th of 1999, and we would actually go for those records and obtain them if he granted permission. The other records, I believe the only thing we're asking for is his email account records and cell phone records from, September 2007 through December 23rd of 2007, and January 18th through February 29th of this year.
Pardon, it's interesting. Wouldn't the right love to comb through those records, I'm sure, to see what they could find, even if it's completely unrelated to what you are saying here today?
Well, first of all, I don't know who's referring to the right or the left, because I'm kind of like, I'm one of those middle kind of people. I don't tend to fluctuate on either side. And as far as combing through those records, we've asked those records to be authorized to be released to us in a federal civil case. I have no intentions of disclosing his personal records. I mean, want to subpoena them for evidence purposes, nothing else.
Sir, yes. I'm sorry if I missed the answer to this earlier. Who is paying your fees?
On Larry's website, there's a PayPal button to donate to his legal fund, which is me. And like Larry's other PayPal account, I've gotten maybe $5,000, nothing over $500, and most of them, like Larry's, are small ones. And we got a few checks in the mail, but nothing over $100.
Exactly.
Are you in negotiations to write a book or any other paid media?
Sir, and let me make this clear for everyone, I am not negotiating with anyone for any selling of stories, book publications of any kind, paid media appearances of any kind. What I want the media to do is to take the story, understand it, get the facts straight from me as opposed to the internet, and you make your decision whether or not it's something that the American voter needs to be informed of. You do that, I'm done, okay? I have not attempted to make any money from this. I don't want any money from this. I don't even want any notoriety from this. I want people to, I really want you to let this guy ask a question. Okay.
I had a few questions. First of all, you said that you became aware when Obama gave his speech at the Democratic Convention. Why didn't you keep your cell phone records with when Mr. Young called you? Like, were you billed for the cell phones?
Actually, the cell phone records, you need to understand something. My cell phone numbers at that time, and in fact, my cell phone currently, is through a division of Sprint Nextel called Boost. Those records are available to me online for a 45-day period. Now, they do have the records, and they actually have confirmed that, and I've agreed to have them, I've turned them over to Chicago Police Department and actually authorized their release to them, which they don't need me to authorize. I have personally contacted Sprint Nextel approximately 2 weeks ago, asking that they dig up the records off of their system for each of those phone numbers from those periods and provide them to us. And I was instructed to make that request over a web form on the Sprint website. And if anyone here has Sprint or Sprint Nextel, you will know that Sprint is probably the worst cell phone provider company to deal with. But I will be getting them, and like I said, they have confirmed that those records are available.
Are you going to post those on your website as well?
I will.
And do you have the names of your best friend that you were visiting in Chicago? Has he testified or just said on the record that, yes, he was in town in Chicago because of my son?
I will tell you this. John Crutzen from the Chicago Tribune should be able to confirm that that's been verified. I will not release my godson's name. Not with the attacks that have been leveled against my family and my childhood friends in South Carolina. I'm not about to let these people do that to him. I will tell you the last name is Dukes. That's all I will tell you. D-U-K-E-S.
All right. And last question, in your first YouTube video, you did say that the events took place between November 3rd and November 8th. And now you said that they started on November 6th.
No. What I said was that I was in Chicago from November 3rd to November 8th. And see, this is another incident of misrepresenting, people twisting it. My statement was, while in Chicago, between November 3rd and November 8th of 1999. Okay? I've always stated, as far as dates, it would be November 6th and November 7th of 1999. Yeah.
Hello. This is a question for both of you. I just want to know, do either of you, what is your position on Barack Obama, whether or not he should be president, and how do these allegations inform your decision?
That's between me and that's between me and the voting booth, so I'll let Larry answer that.
As far as me, I've always been straight up, and I said I've never told anyone not to vote for the man. In fact, I personally thought that he was somewhat charismatic, but my whole thing is I don't prefer either one of the three, honestly.
Hello? Yeah. Senator Barack Obama is a charismatic person. Did you fall in love with him when you had sex with him in 1999? And secondly, what are your feelings today? What are your feelings?
Okay, first, no ma'am, I did not fall in love with Barack Obama. But it's a good question because people have made that allegation. No ma'am. And Barack Obama is only charismatic by being molded that way. All right. Once you take the teleprompters and the lights out from in front of him, you get a whole different person. And as far as my feelings now, those are my feelings. I think you're looking at someone that is completely fake, plastic, that has been made up and put out in front of the American voter, and that's been allowed to walk away from any serious questions about any of his own personal actions. That's what I think. Well, ma'am, nothing personal. Okay. So now I'm going to have to, and don't take this in a disrespectful manner, but let me ask you this. In your entire lifetime, you've never had a one-night stand? I mean, I'm sorry, but, let's deal with reality here. Let's not act like, people go around and fall in love. I mean, that's the biblical way, but it doesn't happen.
You were in touch with the limo driver. Can you detail that contact, and did you save those phone records?
I was in touch with the limo driver, and the contact was basically letting know that I had made public allegations on YouTube after having notified a reporter with the New York Post, who the Post had decided that it was just a little too hot for them to run with at the time. I was informed that if, in fact, the story broke and this individual felt that there was enough